I spend a lot of my time working with both B2C and B2B marketers across a wide range of issues and challenges. But one of the ones that comes up more often than not surprisingly today, is this question of personalization. One of the questions we hear all the time is, are consumers even open to personalization in the first place? Yes, they actually are. So when we survey thousands of consumers around the world and ask them that very question, we find really kind of two things that are especially important to understand. The first is that a vast majority of consumers are either open to personalization, are actually seeking it out, or at least are not opposed to it. Equally interesting and equally important to understand is the fact that many of them actually expect the personalization. And that opens up some really interesting opportunities and maybe even a mandate from marketers to get personalization right. It's interesting because just because consumers are open to personalization doesn't mean that gives us free rein and license to do whatever we want in the name of personalization. So not surprisingly, I think as a marketer, we all think, oh, then we got to get it right. We've got to get more accurate. If we're going to get more accurate, we need more data. So we do more analysis. And as a result of that, we then pile on the analysis, we pile on the personalization, and then we fall into the other side of the trap, which is then now consumers think, well, whoa, now you know just a little bit too much. Now you're a little bit too creepy. And somewhere between the rock and the hard place of being inaccurate on the one hand, but too creepy on the other, is in fact the sweet spot of personalization. When we think about this idea of personalization specifically designed to help consumers, it raises kind of two questions. What do we mean by help? And what exactly does that look like? And I think in many ways, the answer is less is more, and lead with help. And the degree to which your consumer is perceiving that message to be helpful first, and second, really requiring as little data as possible in order to provide that personal help, that's where you really want to be. And we have a name for this. We call this not just help, but tailored help. Some of the best examples of help that we have found in all of our research require very little data at all, and in fact require data provided willingly by consumers themselves. The Huggies brand, for example. So many of you will know Huggies is a well-known diaper or nappy brand. One of the things you can do on this website is you can plug in the birth date of your child, and the entire website will redesign itself effectively to give you specific information, not just about diapers at different ages, but about your child at different ages, what to expect for that particular time period. It's one data point, and it's a data point that the parent chose to provide to the website. So if we were to think about a recipe book for how to build tailored help, it's really 3 steps. The first thing we have to do is identify, but not identify the personalization opportunity, but identify the help opportunity. What specific kind of help are our consumers looking for? And then we can think about how we might design it, how might we package that help in a particular communication to make it relevant, to make it useful. And only then and after then, once we've packaged the right kind of help, can we begin to think about how we tailor that help along as few dimensions as possible to make it feel especially personal.